always have to commit and I have to do my best because it's such an hard work to make wines here in the vineyard, in the cellar. It's such an important thing to present it well and to give the best. But yeah, I do agree completely with Filippo that sometimes the wine is too much linked to the winemaker. The wine is also made by the weather, by the animals that decide to eat or not eat the grape. Too much thing interacting than saying the winemaker is the only author of this product.
Benvenuti! Welcome to the next generation. With me, your host, Giulia Stocchetti. Join me as I take you on a journey to discover young stars of the Italian food and wine world. Pronti? Andiamo! Hello, ciao a tutti, and welcome back to a new episode of The Next Generation. Today, I'm really excited and happy to have two guests, not just one, and they're both from Piedmont, from a really famous wine region. But what's cool is that basically they're a really brand new winery. Their first vintage was in 2020, and so now I'm so excited to get to know better Eugenio and Filippo. Welcome to the show, guys.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Ciao, thank you so much.
You're most welcome. So who's Eugenio and who's Filippo? Please introduce yourself, guys.
Well, Filippo, it's a young winemaker. I started 2015, and after many events, I found out myself in Piedmont, and now I'm running this small operation in Alta Langa.
So, where do you come from?
I grew up in a small town close to Rome, and then I moved to Tuscany. I started to work in the wine production business. And then I moved again in Piemonte because my wife is from here, so it was a love choice.
Oh, wow. Making wine and moving for love. Amazing. So now, Eugenio, tell us something about you.
Basically, I guess I'm like Filippo's Padawan because I am much younger and this is my first winemaking experience. I came here fresh from university where I studied gastronomic sciences, and it's during that period that I met Filippo because here we have a small outside space that we use for events, and I once came here for an event, and that's where we met.
So you're from the area or you're from somewhere else?
I'm actually from the big city of Piedmont. I'm from Torino, but I moved into Langhe for university, for the scientific gastronomic university.
So, and how come you decided to join Filippo in this adventure, building and giving birth to Cascina Elena winery?
Yeah, that's actually a quite brand new question they asked me. I guess I started working here because of the enthusiasm it's here and the truly occasion to put yourself into something really nice and really pleasing. It's more a rewarding job. I guess it's not very common. It's not like going into the office and having to log in every day, 8 a.m. This is a bit more passionate, I would say. It's not only a job, I would say. And that's why I decided to come here.
And how many people work at Cascina Elena?
Right now we're three, so it's me, Eugenio, and Marco. Marco is mostly working in the fields, while Eugenio is taking care of the administrative and marketing side. And I do a little bit of everything. Actually, everyone does a little bit of everything because that's the beauty of working in a small winery. So you get to, yes, work behind a computer, but at the same time, the same day, you may, just cutting the grass outside.
That's fantastic. You get to do a lot of different things. You never get bored, I guess. Yeah, you were saying that just right before the interview, you were just working all together in the vineyard, right? Taking care of some Chardonnay.
Yeah, now it's quite the most busy time of the year. The plants need to be, taken care of. Plus, since it's the most busy time of the year, is the time when you get the equipment broke. So you have to fix equipment, work outside, work inside. But it's nice. That's June. I would say this is June.
This is joyful June, let's say. Crazy, busy, but rewarding at the end, I'm sure. How's the weather now?
This was a strange year because the last two winters were very dry with very rainy springs, and this one was rainy as well. And now the summer is coming, but it's a shy summer because we still don't have that, very hot sunny days that we had in the last years. But at the same time, there's water in the soil, which is good. Plants are looking healthy, even if there's lots of moisture. So now it looks like it's going to be a nice vintage.
How many hectares of vineyards you manage?
Allora, right now we have 4.5 hectares. Let's say 3.5 are planted. 1 hectare is not productive right now.
So there are some woods, there are some other cultures nearby.
The total amount of land we have is 12 hectares, more or less. So it's mostly woods and these 4.5 hectares that we want develop, expand, because we don't want to, remove woods. Even because the woods are in places where the land is too steep, so it would be very hard to plant anyway.
So what's the altitude of your vineyards?
It's one big plot divided in many small vineyards. The lower is 480 meters. The highest is 530.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic. So you're not really suffering with climate change because you get altitude, you get the vines planted on the slopes. And seeing the area, I guess you're making some sparkling wine like Alta Langa, right?
It's the most important point of our project, and since we started in 2020, we degorged the first Alta Langa last November. And for us, it's kind of a big thing because after you wait for 3 years and then you get to taste the work you started in 2020. And well, my personal feeling, I was coming from Chianti, so it was mostly Sangiovese, red wines coming here. My feeling is that we have the perfect terroir for white sparklings.
So was your first experience with sparkling wine?
Yes.
Oh, wow, fantastic. And does this bottle have a special name? It's like a special cuvée, a special vintage, or special name or something.
Not actually. If I have to be honest, this is a place. Traditionally, the most important variety was Moscato to make Moscato d'Asti, but we never made Moscato d'Asti. We always thought that Moscato needs more to be really expressive, and so we did orange wine, let's say, with these Moscato vineyards we have, and I gave to this first wine that I made the name of my kid that was born the same year. So it's Romeo.
Oh, wow. So 2020 must be a really, really special moment for you. New baby, new wine, your first sparkling. That's exciting.
Yeah, it is. It is.
You should spare some bottles also for the future. Maybe when your kid is going to be ready to have some and you're going to have a story to tell him, you know.
I don't know if they're gonna make it to my kid, 18th birthday, because we usually drink before that. And I'm so curious about how a Moscato, can evolve during these years. But I definitely keep one for him.
But hold on, is the sparkling named after your son or the aunt for the Moscato?
No, only the Moscato. The Alta Langa is just called Alta Langa.
Okay, okay. And it's made with Chardonnay, I guess, and some other grapes you use?
The first one was made only with the Chardonnay because it was the vineyard that we found. Because when we arrived, we had 4 hectares planted, but with the old vines. The guy that was was managing the vineyard, was selling grapes, so he didn't really care about, keeping them healthy. And so we decided to remake the vineyards. And so we started planting more Chardonnay and Pinot Noir in, because we were planning to make more Alta Langa. But when we arrived, we had these zero 0.4 hectares of Chardonnay planted in the beginning of the 2000. And with this one, we started making the first Alta Langa. So our first, would say, 3 vintages are made with only Chardonnay.
Wow, cool. You're mastering Chardonnay in Alta Langa. Fantastic. Then Moscato, and then you have other varieties planted, or
We have some Favorita, which is not very well known.
it's a white variety, right? Favorita.
It is. Basically, it's a Vermentino. We had Dolcetto that we took off because was very, few vines, and Right now we have Nebbiolo, Favorita, Moscato, Chardonnay, and Pinot Noir.
Fantastic varieties you're growing there. Marco, should be pretty easy working your land, I guess.
It's not an easy land to work. Steep fields, even the tractor, it's really hard to find machines that works really well. Especially, I can tell you the critical point here in these hills, not only for me, but for all the farmers, is how to keep the grass under the vines. That how to cut the grass. There's no machine that really works, and so sometimes you have to work by hand.
Yeah, it takes time.
Yes, takes time.
I can imagine. So you don't use like herbicides or stuff like that in your vineyards.
No. As soon as we arrived, we converted to organic.
Fantastic. And it took a few years, right, to like do the conversion, or was quite easy?
Took 3 years. I think the most painful stuff about being organic to me, because when I was in Chianti, I was coming from Le Cinciole, which is a small winery in Panzano. The agronomo, the consulente, the advisor was Mazzilli, which was one of the most important organic consultant in Italy. And so to me, when I came here, organic was not a choice; was just the way to go. The most painful thing about the organic production is the paperwork behind it.
Well, like everything in Italy, basically, when it comes to bureaucracy and stuff, it's a never ending job. But there's Eugenio for this, right?
Yeah, even though I try to do my best to put together all the papers for the organic, but the problem with the papers, I guess, is the time required. And being a small winery, even though we are full of work, so we don't have much time to spend to put papers together. So we're always a bit running behind this type of task. But this is, where I had, I guess, Filippo the most.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Usually you're at the winery every day, I guess, or you have some days off for yourself.
We are always here. We are away usually on Saturday and then Sunday because Filippo doesn't live close and me neither, even though I stay here during the week time and go back to the big city for the weekend.
Oh, wow. So Turin during the weekend and then back to Alta Langa. But it's cool. I mean, you can stay at the winery, you really live the winery, and I guess it's so peaceful there without all the people bothering you and the traffic and cars and everything.
Yeah, I'm doing like an ascetic life during the week. Everybody leaves after 5 when we are done working. I stop speaking and I go back speaking at 8 a.m. because I got nobody to speak to. That's therapeutic. That's helpful.
I bet that would be awesome. It's basically same things I do most of the time during the week. Just go back to my little town and just don't talk to anyone until the day after. And that's something really, really nice sometimes. But don't you have any dog or any animal there with you? It's just you and yourself?
No, but I guess it's easier because I don't know how much I can look after another living being apart from myself.
But maybe it could be the other living thing to take care of you. Who knows, you know?
Yeah. That's the point. Yeah.
And Filippo, you also live at the winery or somewhere else? Or you drive back and forth?
I live in Alba and I'm 25 minutes away from here, so every day I go back and forth.
Okay, cool. So you get to see your family, your wife, your kid.
My personal advice to someone that wants to start a new business in agriculture, if you live in the same place you work, is much better and easier.
Oh, yeah, sounds like it. And is your wife involved in the wine business or not?
Her family has a winery in Barolo,
Oh, wow.
but she was never really into wine making and wine production. So now she's a yoga teacher. She studied to become a yoga teacher, but right now she teaches Pilates. Yes, Pilates. So totally different.
You can organize some cool yoga and Pilates classes, with as a reward some good wine. Well, could be an idea.
We thought of it and Filippo proposed a couple of times, but sometimes we are wondering if yoga people are also into wine. We think yes, but we don't know. Maybe they are too much strict on their consumption and that they don't like wine or they don't appreciate it.
Wine is culture, is sharing, is also good for your health. I mean, as a nutrient. So I think intelligent, wise yoga people would enjoy at least a sip of wine. But you never know. But Going back to wines, Filippo, what's now your favorite wine you're making?
Right now, the one that I like to drink most, especially when I'm, at fairs, event where I'm displaying my wines, I usually drink Alta Langa all day because it's very refreshing, and I drink it just to come dire, enjoy myself. And I really like it. Otherwise, I would tell you probably the Romeo. It's true that the Altalanga is something that it's really becoming more popular, but I don't think it's right at the same time to abandon the Moscato. Because planting Chardonnay and Pinot in Italy, yes, is something that I'm doing. I like doing it, but at the same time, I'm wondering myself if this was the best choice for Italian DOCG to use two foreign grapes to make a sparkling. They're already been used in Champagne, in many other places, Franciacorta. But since in the last 30 years, the terroir became so important, why don't, do some attempt with Italian grapes like Nebbiolo, for example? Because, Chardonnay and Pinot, they have many problems, they're very sensitive to the peronospora, to the flavescenza.
Yeah, powdery and downy mildew, flavescence, yeah.
So I'm wondering, why I am forced to use vines that I already know are not doing great, and just don't use Nebbiolo, for example.
You can also make Nebbiolo spumante, right?
Yeah, it's something that was already attempted by other producers, and I think makes sense. So we see, because the Nebbiolo we planted here was kind of a bet, because as you said, it's true that the altitude is helping with the climate change, but at the same time, Nebbiolo needs, heat to get to the best ripening. So in case we want to be able to get the perfect ripening for a red wine, we already are experienced with sparkling, so why not?
And Eugenio, your favorite wine?
It's hard to tell because sometimes I feel like every one of them explains something different. I think in this particular moment of the year in my life, I really like the pet nut, the Moscato based pet nut we do, because with the Moscato we also do this pet nut, which is a bit more funky, I would say, but it's very, very fresh, herbaceous notes, and it's really nice during this part of the year. Of course, the Alta Langa is more elegant, more classy, but after a day of work, what is better than a glass of Batnut?
Yeah, sounds like that's an energy drink. I can picture like Eugenio at 5 p.m., done with work, with nobody around, just looking for the bottle of pet nut and just pop it up and pour a glass and like, wow, that's heaven. That's nirvana. That's how I picture you. But do you also host tastings sometimes or events at Cascina Elena?
Yeah, we always open for tastings, and we did a few events in the past years. 150 people, because we have this theater, as Eugenio has already said, and we hosted some concerts, even a theater play.
That's fantastic. And all those people also enjoyed your wines, or?
Yeah, yeah. We've been collecting bottles the day after, for all morning, all the bottles that we used.
What if people want to keep up with the events you're doing? Is there a website or a social media page they can reach out to and take a look at?
Yeah, actually, yes, of course, they can go on our website, and we also have a newsletter where we send out new events we are planning. Actually, as we are speaking, on the end of this month, on the 21, we are hosting a dinner with some friends of us who are cooks. And so we are focusing more, I guess, on smaller events because for now it's a bit tougher for us to do bigger ones since the big work we have to do in the vineyards. But of course, following us on social media and looking at the website or subscribing to the newsletter is a way to be informed of this type of event coming up.
And people can come to the dinner on the 21st of this month, or is a private event?
No, it's open to public. You have to book your spot. It's going to be 35, I guess, maximum. We are going out with all the materials of the communication.
Fantastic. And if someone is visiting your area and they want to visit you, taste your wines, and enjoy the place, is there anywhere you recommend to sleep, to eat, to go, sightseeing?
But actually, it's a big question. We always love to hang out in the area. We have lots of I would say clients that become friends that runs either hospitality places, either restaurants or just wine bars. And I guess the best thing would be if you are coming in the area and you want to come to a taste, we can also advise you a bit on where to go to sleep, what to see. The Alta Langa and also the Langa, it's a very rich, very beautiful area. I guess doing them both in the same journey, in the same vacation, it's nice because you can really have a comparison between two very nearby wine territory. It's very interesting. But I guess it's a bit too long to list them all.
Oh, yeah, it's just to arise the curiosity in the listeners, because when they know there's something cool to do, just wine, wineries, good food, nice places to go to, they just take some information. I mean, if they want to go on a journey or just for the weekend. I got a question now. Can sound kind of weird, but do you have also nocciole in your area, like nut trees? Because Alta Langa is famous also for nocciole, right?
It is. We never had some. In the last 2 years, the production of the nocciole fields was very low for more reasons. One was the weather. Actually, there's a big production of nocciole around us, but we are not making them.
Okay, it was just curiosity, just because the famous nocciole del Piemonte.
There's even many producer of hazelnuts products, creams, and some of them they really like to work with the less ingredients, so the products are very good.
Amazing. So you have wines, you have nocciole, you have biodiversity, you have really nice places. Seems like really a fantastic place to go to. And do you think also a weekend would be enough to visit you?
Yeah, I think it's much on the weather. If you have a good weekend of nice weather, it's enough because you can work outside. You can do a couple of wineries, a couple of restaurants. But even 5 days wouldn't be wasted because the area is very big and there are a lot of places to see. Even coming during the fall, where we have truffle season, also on our hill, there are some truffle, not the white ones, but the black one, the Melanosporum, and it's really nice. Our neighbors is a truffle hunter, and we can go truffle hunting with him with our visitors. I guess it's a nice experience.
Yeah, it is. It's something special and something unique because not everywhere people can go truffle hunting. So, wow, that's fantastic, guys. Back to the wine. How many bottles do you make a year for now, more or less?
We go from 15,000 to 20,000 depending on the harvest.
Okay, cool. And where do you mostly sell your wines?
Since January, Eugenio started to sell in Turin. And right now, I would tell you probably 50% of our sales are in Italy and 50% mostly North Europe.
Wow, cool. So, like in Scandinavia and places like that.
Most of all is Scandinavia and Belgium.
Well done, Eugenio. You're doing a great job.
Yeah, but Filippo also made some of the connection with our importer in the northern country.
Come on, who's the best in selling wines between the two of you?
We have different styles, I guess. Eugenio is more a salesman. He's a very good one, old school. I'm more, if you like me, I can sell bottles to you. Otherwise, I won't do anything to like you.
All right, fantastic. And now it's Eugenio's turn to answer.
Filippo, it's more authentic. When you see Filippo, it's more like the winemaker. Sometimes I feel like he's the one perceived as the winemaker, and it's actually right, the perception, because I'm more young. That is the biggest gap that I have to feel when I go pitching business to let them try our wines, that I'm not just a young kid going around, but I somehow know what I'm doing.
Well, but it could be Really, really good for the both of you because you can talk to younger generations while Filippo basically has a little more experience, of course, because of his age. And that could be a perfect match to cover more markets, maybe, and more targets.
I guess sometimes the way we perceive our market and our target is that we are such a small winery, like doing segmentation doesn't really work for us. It's more the people that wants to drink good wines made with art. I guess it should be the wines speaking rather than us. I mean, we do our best in the vineyard, in the cellar to make good wines from our terroir, and that should be our effort. And people should buy our wine not for us, but for the wine itself.
Well, definitely. But in the wines, there's always also the winemaker's personality and the people behind it. So that's something I love about wines. It's not just a bottle, you're selling an experience, you're selling the fruit of your work. So it's true what you said is the wine that must be speaking. It's not us that have to convince the people. But, on the other hand, the wine has no actual voice, and so you also have to reach out to public. You have to, let the people know you're making wines, and present the wines. Otherwise, I'm not sure if you just stay in the winery, if someone would come knocking at your door, you know what I mean? So it's important the wine to be of a really good quality and the people behind it to be able to promote it in a way. That's what I think.
It's true. My effort is since I started when I was young. When I was 20, the natural world was started, But when I got to know this wine reality, I found the winemakers to be too much
Protagonist.
yeah, too much protagonism. So come dire, I'm okay if Cascina Elena is not always associated to me. My goal is that people feel Cascina Elena as an entity that is independent, that can go without me, without Eugenio, but it's always expressive, and the wines are expressing the terroir. That's the most important thing. And then if it's me presenting, if it's Eugenio, if it's Marco, that is not really important.
I want to add something on the top of it. Sometimes when I go around, like last weekend, I was in the Netherlands. 2 weeks ago, I was in the Netherlands doing long fairs and then at nights event with our business clients. And it's hard even that, but I always have to commit and I have to do my best because it's such an hard work to make wines here in the vineyard, in the cellar. It's such an important thing to present it well and to give the best. But yeah, I do agree completely with Filippo that sometimes the wine is too much linked to the winemaker. The wine is also made by the weather, by the animals that decide to eat or not eat the grape. Too much thing interacting than saying the winemaker is the only author of this product.
And talking about, let's say, wine pairings now, if you have to recommend, Filippo, a food and wine pairing with one of your wines and one of the typical dishes of your area, what would it be?
I never made this. Allora, I would probably say Romeo, which is a wine that, again, I like. And I'm not gonna advise a dish of my area because I'm not from this area. And it's a very simple recipe pasta with burro and alici,
Yeah, I think we know pasta with butter and anchovies.
butter and anchovies, and a little grated lemon set. It's beautiful because you have the acidity of the anchovies, these citrus notes, and you have some nice citrus notes even in the wine. So I think works well. Plus, it's a white wine, but with a little bit of tannins. And so even the fat of the butter, it's well combined with the tannins. No, it's always a very nice, refreshing sip at the end.
That's a delicious pairing, really. Now I'm curious to know about Eugenio.
It's not easy, but being the Piedmontese of the two, I have to go with Piedmont recipe because what is really characteristic about our wines is the freshness, the acidity. So, like with our bubbles, maybe the Alta Langa, suits very well to me with cheeses, with like our Greece cheeses, like the Robiola di Roccaverano, which is an appellation of the area. made with goat or sheep milk. I would go with very easy French paradox wine and cheese.
Okay, but one of your wines.
The Alta Langa for sure.
Wine and cheese is among the best things in life, even if it's a cliche also from the French, but come on, wine and cheese is perfect. I like your pairing, guys. Really good idea. Well, so is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
We look forward seeing you and Beatrice here at the winery, but also everyone who's listening is invited to come and meet us and to see the beautiness of our land and to see our work. Besides that, it was a beautiful interview. Thank you so much.
Thank you for finding the time. It's my pleasure to be here. But just to make sure, if someone wants to visit you, they better call you, email you. Is there any way they can reach out to you guys to schedule winery visit and tasting?
Yeah, we have on the website, actually, you can book online, and something we did to prevent the no-show phenomenon that, sometimes people, they like to book tasting Sunday morning and then do not show, but online is the way to go.
Okay, so on your website, we find all the information to book a winery tour and visit with you. And if it's autumn, also truffle hunting experience, maybe.
Yeah. It's already also listed on the website. You can book that as well, just in a certain period of time.
Okay, fantastic. So, well, just last question for the two of you. Filippo, if you are on a desert island and you have to take a bottle of wine with you, what would it be?
Would be a Chateauneuf du Pape Vieux Telegraph Lagro 2018.
Nice choice, also with the vintage. Okay. Eugenio, what about you?
Hey, this one is hard. I don't know. Filippo's got his favorites. I don't know how much I have. I don't know, like a very, very nice champagne, something to die for, I guess.
Oh, interesting. I was expecting you were about to say the Patnet, but champagne is always champagne. Well, so guys, I guess that's all. If there's anything else you'd like to add, otherwise we should wrap up the episode and hopefully we'll see you soon in front of a good glass of Cascina Elena.
Yeah, we look forward seeing you.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Giulia.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Grazie for being with me today and listening to The Next Generation on the Italian Wine Podcast. Alla prossima! Cin cin!